Part 7. So as my father is telling me the story, he's crying, he's emotional, but still, I did not feel like he was telling me the truth. And for me, that was the deal. For me to talk to you, you had to tell me the truth. If you don't owe me anything else, you owe me that at least. So when I realized that I felt funny or felt some type of way about what he was saying, I cut off contact with him again. He did try to call me after that, off and on. Sometimes I would pick up his phone calls, sometimes I wouldn't. For the most part, I felt dirty when I talked to him. Like, I felt like I was betraying my mother. So eventually when I moved to Washington, I ended up changing my number. So in one of my story times, I will try to get into the dynamic of my relationship with all of my father's children. But I will just say that I had started speaking to another one of his daughters again, who I had lost contact with. And during this time, she was actually staying with my father because she was sick. And while she was staying with him, I don't know how, but my father got a hold of her phone and got my phone number. I hadn't spoken to him in years, so even when he called, it caught me off guard. Because one, I didn't know who it was, but then when he told me who he was, I immediately was like, how did you get my number? And he was like, oh, I found it in somebody's phone. So at this time, me and my older sister that I'm close with, we both were living in Washington State. And as soon as I got off the phone with him, I called her and told her that he had called me. So my sister called him and went off, told him not to call me anymore. But my father just didn't, I believe the man was in denial. Like, I think he thought that when he got out of prison, that we were just going to pick up where we left off, that I was going to be his baby girl, that, my sister was going to be his sag of bones, which is what he used to call her. Like, I just think he thought, like, everything stood still while he went to prison and that we were just going to jump back into things. So, because my sister knew that I was upset, she actually came and stayed with me at my house for a couple of days, me and my husband and my kids. And while she was there, my father called.